Jurassic World 3 is a science thriller that explores genetic power. This is the words of Colin Trevorrow once more, John, and I'll read this little bit, then you can give me your thoughts on this, John, because I know that you've got a lot you want to say about this. During his exclusive interview with Screen Rant, director Colin Trevorrow discussed how that premise will continue in Jurassic World Dominion, calling the movie a science thriller. Trevorrow explained that the movie navigates the power of genes and the natural strength and perils both dinosaurs and humankind possess, and this is what he had to say.
Yes.
One is, we wanted to get the dinosaurs off of the island, which we've been on for 4 movies, was something we needed the movie to do. I love what J.A. did with that movie, and I was really into the idea of them being displaced and put out into a world they didn't understand and wasn't welcoming of them at all. I was really fascinated with the opportunities this movie presented, and also the movie is much more of a science thriller. We haven't really been able to talk about genetic power and the danger inherent in it, what these dinosaurs existing on our planet right now really represents, and how it all ties into the dangers we face today. So that's what we've got to do, and obviously I've got to be able to work with I've got to be able to work with Laura Dern, Sam Neill,
from Screen Rant, Stephen,
and Jeff Goldblum in order to tell that story. It was a bit of a dream. Can't believe it happened. John, back in 1993, I think this is the first film you saw in the cinema.
Yes, it was, Stephen.
That part of the movie was the most intriguing part for me.
It was.
Never mind your fucking T-Rexes chasing cars and stuff like that in the rain, and little glasses of water shaking.
Oh, that was good though, wasn't it?
I loved the science behind that first movie. It's something I always like about certain films, the explanation and the sort of origins of how it began.
Yeah.
You got that in Batman Begins. I'm always fascinated with how that origins started. Any origins I'm very interested in. You're going right back to an age,
Jurassic era, Triassic.
Yeah, exactly, John. And I loved the way that was explained in the first movie with the late great Sir Richard Attenborough.
Yes,
his character. I thought it was very fascinating, and it
must be deeply disappointing, Stephen. Sorry for cutting over.
That's going to sound silly though, John, what I'm about to say. It added some realism to the movie. Yeah. You could believe it.
Yeah,
you know,
Stephen, it can happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It technically could. I think they have they've resurrected a tiny little microbial life form that was frozen in Russia or something.
Yeah.
So they can do it if they get enough DNA. They would be able to probably bring it back in some bastardised form. It's something that is certainly possible. Stephen, I was about to say there, man, it must be so hard it must have been hard in the Attenborough household to be David. And to be as brilliant as that guy is, and he is brilliant, but to still be outshined by your brother, to be that fucking good, to be this sort of... Yeah, but Richard was better, let's be honest, he was, man. He starred in the Great Escape. He was a better actor, just fucking better, period. I mean, he starred in the Great Escape, that's good enough for me. Stephen, I'm fascinated by this as well. It's the sort of moral dilemma of what you do with these dinosaurs. Do you bring them back? Do you reimagine what these animals were like for humanity to see, and sort of prod and poke like they do with the animals these days, man? These sort of sea worlds and stuff, the sort of, I don't know, torturous way they keep these animals. That's a bone of contention with a lot of people. I know your ex-work colleague Stephen is a big advocate for releasing these animals, and I'm actually on her side as well. So I like that sort of morality. It was exploring that, and also Jeff Goldblum's been the voice of reason in these Jurassic World movies. He's been narrating the trailers, narrating this from a sort of courtroom.
Yeah,
the rights and the wrongs of keeping these dinosaurs on the planet, on this island. Now they're out and they're actually exploring the world at large. It's going to be very interesting, Stephen, to balance that throughout a whole movie. These fucking dinosaurs, pterodactyls flying around, and there was I seen a footage. I don't know if it was an actual piece of footage, but there was talk. I think Trevorrow was going to release it before another movie. I don't know what movie it is in the theatres, and show it an exclusive 5-minute piece of footage, and it showed you the actual dinosaurs rocking up, and like taking things out the sky and walking past people. It's going to be fascinating to see them actually. It's the most adventurous, how would you call it? Most ambitious sort of take they've had for a Jurassic Park World movie to date, because it's all been within the confines of this park in previous movies. Now they're exploring and expanding it out into the actual world. It's going to be fascinating. It's that scale, Stephen, that story of morality, the dinosaurs, the origins. What do you do with them? It's just fucking blowing up now. It's like a nuke went off, man. So it's going to be brilliant to watch.
But like, what's it called? Kong and
Kong versus Godzilla, yep.
Yeah.
You bring Kong over
It's
to
gonna
fight the
have
threat.
that epicness, I think, to it, you know.
Stephen, it is, man, I can't know. And apparently the T-Rex is going to be back. It's going to be the sort of central character, dinosaur character again. They begin with the T-Rex and they end with it, apparently. That's going to be poignant.
Yeah.
Because I grew up watching that movie.
Ruth also said that she did read somewhere that Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum will appear throughout the film.
Looking forward to seeing Jeff and his jazz hands here.
I can't wait to see Sam Neill as well. He's a good guy, John. Also, Chris Pratt compared it with how in Endgame all the characters come back together. So maybe the older actors in Jurassic may have more of an important role rather than just a guest appearance. Well, John, the director's talking about the science thriller. Yeah. It can't be a science thriller without the Sam Neill and the Laura Dern characters. That's what they were brought in initially.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Pratt's playing a behaviourist who can sort of bond with the little velociraptor things, but he's not a scientist. And Stephen, I think the nature of this story, it being a grander scale, set throughout different locations, they're out in the wild, you can't have a single perspective. You can't have two people taking on all of these dinosaurs and try to save them, balancing the morality of killing and saving them. You need multiple characters and multiple perspectives. Jeff Goldblum doing something, Sam Neill and Laura Dern doing something, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard doing something. You're going to need to have 3-4 different perspectives in this movie. It's too big, so it's required, it's a necessity. It's just handling it, not overshadowing the other characters that held things together for the other two movies. You need to bring them in and be delicate with it. But I think Trevorrow, we've seen the script for episode 9, his idea. I thought it looked amazing. It was much better than what we got. I think he will do it justice.
Yeah.
Got another comment. Dr. Jones, is that
Dr. Jones, yeah.
Dr. Jones calling Dr. John.
What do you hope that don't happen in the Indiana Jones 5? We talked about
Indiana doesn't die.
Yeah, the death of him. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. We want this character to be immortal. John, I think as well that there's not much I don't want to see the kid again. I don't want to see. Not because it's him. I like him.
I like Shia as well.
I just don't want. I don't think it's necessary. I didn't think it was necessary in the last movie. I felt that last movie, John, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they were trying to pass the baton onto the new generation, and Shia LaBeouf was going to head that up. Then obviously he had his problems. The film bombed anyway, so they were taking a break from the franchise. But I think that's initially where they were going with it. Yeah. I think that's why they introduced the kid. It was done up in the 50s, leather gear, the rocker. Guy. Yeah, but I don't want to see that. I don't really want to see that, John. Also, Ruth says the word Dominion suggests that there might be more exposure of the dinosaurs interacting with the general public. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely, Stephen. It is like the footage I've seen. I'll need to try and find it. And maybe link it or something, but it was great. You've seen the pterodactyls, the dinosaurs sort of just casually walking past humans.
Yeah. John, see, as long as I've got my big oversized packet of chutes, I'll be fine. If you remember that advert.
Oh, we remember it well, Stephen. Godzilla, King of the Titans, I think it was, the trailer. You compared it to a Chutes advert, and my God, they fucking went after you. They went after you. The Godzilla fan base are very protective of Godzilla.
Yeah, it was very Sinbad.
Very passionate.
Yeah.
And they went after you.
Yeah, it was shit.
Thankfully, the trailer was terrible. The way he ran across the city, just so unrealistic. It was like a Sinbad movie.
Do you know what it's like, him running across the city? It was like me walking across my daughter's Lego. That's what it was like. It must have hurt his feet standing in those buildings.
What was I going to say, Stephen? Thankfully, your Lighthouse comments, despite you comparing it to a Guinness advert, they actually went over better with the Lighthouse, the Robert Egger fan base. Clearly they're not as protective. Rufus says, I really do not think that Indiana Jones will die, especially like Stephen says, there's no real reason to do it. Exactly, man. Look, you can't kill him off. It would be pointless. Just let the character live on forever. Yeah. It's not like Han Solo. Han Solo you can kill off.
Give him an ending like Thanos in Infinity War. That porch scene.
Oh yeah.
Just let him sit down and he's finally resting. Yeah.
Stephen, can he ever be peaceful though, Indy? I don't know if he's got it in him to be peaceful. He's a guy who's very spontaneous, adventurous. He's still doing it in his 70s, so I don't think he can actually sit. He's just that guy. He's getting that, I don't know, desire to go out and taste the world. Stephen, man, look, he's the main character. You can't kill him off. Han Solo wasn't the main character in Star Wars. You had Luke Skywalker, for me, who was always the main character. It was all about the Skywalkers. So when you kill Han off, you've got other people to carry the mantle. And this one, you can't kill him off. He's the main guy. What the fuck do you do?
Exactly, John. It's the same with Jurassic World 3 as well. Yeah, you can't kill off the characters, as you said, or fade them into the background, who've carried the last two movies. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they balance that out. Because I do want to see these original characters back as well. I'm big fans of those characters.
Yeah.
Great actors as well, the trio. But I don't want to see them overshadow. I think there's a good balance there, John. You're talking about 5 big actors in there, John. And I think
as Ruth says, man, Endgame, you had about 40 actors.
Yeah, they'll be able to do it. Yeah, exactly, John. It's going to be the last. I would say it's going to be the last Jurassic Park / world film we're ever going to get. So,
Sandro says toxic fans have been attacking the filmmaker of Indiana Jones. They've been attacking James Mangold. That's strange. Why would you do that?
On Twitter, John.
James, Twitter's a hideous hellhole place, man. Just full of the most, the worst of humanity's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just horrendous.
Because they can say things and then just run away.
Exactly. They'd get a smack in the mouth if he says it in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that filter you need in real life.
We're going to move on anyway to